And here we go. Welcome to Season 2 of the Huddle, Episode 35. I'm Ed Tait from BlueBombers.com. Thanks for joining us live on the Blue Bombers YouTube page and on X. Very pleased to be joined this week by Blue Bombers defensive back Evan Holm. Thanks, fist bump here.
Thank you for having me.
We've been away for a couple of weeks. Canada Day was a couple Tuesdays ago. Last week was the bye, so appreciate you joining us as we get back here to start the show. We will follow the usual script like we do on the show. We'll talk about Evan's road traveled and maybe talk about becoming a dad for the first time, decision to stay in Winnipeg. But we're going to start off like we always do with the Coors Light Chill Chat. And this is where I do the sponsor read. Welcome to the Coors Light Chill Chat, a chance to kick back and get to know the Blue Bombers players a little better. Proudly brought to you by Coors Light, the official beer and the chilled choice of the Blue Bombers.
There's regular cold, and then there's the mountains are blue cold. Mountain cold refreshment. Coors Light, the chill choice.
Here we go. We always like to start off with these kind of quick hitters to, get the show rolling on a good run here. First of all, we've had a poll question, and I came up with it, and it was been kind of lame, I think. It was what your favorite cereal is. So I don't know if you want to weigh in on that.
I'm gluten-free. I have celiac, so I don't know. I don't really eat cereal.
Okay, so
I would have chocolate Chex was the last kind of cereal I would have in the morning quite a bit. But
all right, so again, we're going to scrap that one. Maybe we should steal from the Handled Internally podcast and take the Joey Chestnut question, which is, Zach Claris, I think he was being a bit of a troll, but he threw it out there. Do you think that Joey Chestnut is a top 5 American athlete of all time?
No.
And why?
He still does. He's training but he's not top 5. He might be considered an athlete, but he's
really
not. Yeah. You have to train for that. That's not anybody can just do that.
Yeah, but even a bricklayer has to train to learn how to put bricks down. That doesn't make him an athlete, right? Or an electrician has to learn to wire stuff so he doesn't electrocute himself.
That's true, but there's no like bricklaying. I don't know. As far as I know, there's not bricklaying competitions and things for them to compete. Like, we don't know who the top electrician is.
I can't believe this is a debate, though, that a guy that eats a lot of hot dogs is going to...
It takes a lot. It's a lot of toll on the body. There's a lot of physical toll. So I would say he's an athlete.
When I hear it from an athlete, it makes me rethink my whole position on this. Okay, appreciate you weighing in. We might keep going with that one. Okay, more food questions. Do you have a pre-game meal, a go-to?
Usually something light, something rice and veggies and meat. Basically, nothing. I don't like to eat too close to game time. Maybe 4 hours before or so. I like to have like a Pedialyte or like a liquid IV for sure. But I don't like eating too close to game time. Like I don't know. I feel kind of weird on game day sometimes.
I always wonder about that, because if it's plus 30 outside and it's hot as hell, and you haven't eaten in 4 hours, don't you feel that your gas tank's just going down from F to E in a hurry?
That's when I have the liquid IV or like a Gatorade or things like that. And the heat is my ultimate weakness for sure. That weighs on me, so I don't like the hot days. But I have that liquid IV, and then maybe I'll have a bar or banana, but nothing crazy.
Do you have a cheat meal?
A cheat meal? Yeah, in Winnipeg, there's they have gluten-free Chinese at Lucky Koi's, and I have sesame chicken there, and it's so good, because usually Chinese food is a no-go for me because they usually don't make it gluten-free, but they do, and it's very good. So I think when I found out about it, I was having it like every 3 days or so, but now it's kind of like a once-a-week thing, maybe every other week, so it's very good.
Sam, write this down, okay, on your gluten-free journey. Sam's on a gluten-free journey over there, so you can write that down. Okay. Well, that was a good plug for the place, too. If you could be a pro athlete in another sport, who would you pick and why?
If I could I would choose rugby.
I was going to ask you about that later in a later segment, but okay, why?
Well, just because I played it before. It's different. I actually get to carry the ball as well, offense and defense. If I didn't go to college for football, I would have went and tried to go play rugby, or football didn't work out professionally, I would immediately tried to go play rugby.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So, ignorant question here. Who's the best rugby player in the world? Is there someone that comes to mind immediately for you?
Nope. I haven't really watched a lot of rugby lately. But no.
Yeah. Okay. Which guy in the Bomber locker room makes you laugh the most?
It depends if we're in meetings or out of meetings. Nick Hallett and Jamal Parker in meetings, probably.
In meetings?
Yeah.
How?
We're just laughing about film or things that happened. Football is funny sometimes. Like when you mess up, we try to make jokes about it. Still have fun while we're getting corrections and stuff. But yeah, those two for sure.
And then outside of meetings, who makes you laugh?
There's Butter's pretty funny. Terrell Bonds.
Oh yeah, Butter.
Yeah,
Butter. I didn't know that was his nickname.
Butter, not with an ER. Butter.
Butter.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I call him Butter.
Okay.
Because I think it's funny. But, yeah, I mean, we got all the DBs are pretty funny.
Yeah,
I think so.
What's your favorite road trip?
I like going to Erica's got a cabin. So we just went there last the bye week.
Okay.
We went down there for a few days. So I mean, I don't really like driving that much, but that's when I like. We go to the lake and relax.
What about a CFL road trip, like a business?
Oh, I get what you're saying.
That's cool too. Huh?
Yeah. I like Toronto.
Coming up.
Yeah, just because they had a gluten-free fried chicken place.
It's all about the gluten-free.
It is about the gluten-free food options because I've had most of what they have in Winnipeg. So when I go somewhere else, I get to try some sort of new food. So the first thing I do is I look up like gluten-free in the city. Vancouver's good too, but Toronto last year I found some gluten-free fried chicken. It was very good.
What's the name of the place? Maybe we can.
I would have to look back in my. It's not Jukes. They have gluten-free as well, but I can't remember the specific name of this place.
Okay, we'll give it a shout out on your Instagram or social media. Maybe they can give you a discount or something. Okay, if they're doing the Evan Holm life story, which actor is playing you?
That's a good question. I feel like it wouldn't be someone who's really well known if it's going to play me. I feel like might be someone's first role or something like that. I feel like it's not going to be yeah, people would say that, like Sarah or
oh yeah, I see it now that you say that.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. That's a really good question. I wonder what my wife would say. I don't really know.
Who's the guy that plays the tough guy, the British guy that was the driver, the beekeeper? That
Jason Statham.
Jason Statham. You got some Jason Statham in you, don't you?
No, I'm not Jason Statham. You think I'm Jason Statham?
Well, no. I mean, like says the guy that instantly he said, "Who did you say?"
Michael Cera.
Michael Cera. Yeah.
Him and Jason Statham are about as far apart as you could possibly get for actors. I'm just
maybe a combination of the two. Because Michael Cera, you're a pro athlete, man. Jason Statham.
Yeah, I know you could make Michael Cera athlete. You can make it. An actor can play anything.
That's true too.
I just
thought you'd be all over the Jason Statham. For the
I don't know. He's a tough guy.
Yeah.
Says tough thing. I don't know. It's not really my persona.
Okay. All right. Well, I threw it out there. We won't be. So I'm just gonna write. Jason Statham will not play Evan Holm in his life story. Okay. Let's talk about the Bomber Book Club because that's a thing that's near and dear to your heart. I think was it you and Drew Olatarski that started it, or how did this thing start?
Yeah, it was Drew and then Dakota Prukup. We were just talking books one time, and we started talking about our favorites, and then it kind of went from there. We, gave suggestions to each other. We read like The Name of the Wind, and the next year we got together and we're like, oh, let's do a book club, and then it kind of carried on from there. And then I just did it this year.
Yeah. How many guys get involved in that?
I think we've got 11 right now.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, we only lost one after the first book, which was nice. I tried to pick one that was, keep everybody involved. It's shorter, so people don't feel like it's not as daunting to read 300 pages versus if we start out with 600, 900 pages, people are going to not want to do that.
Right.
So we had, I think 11 or 12 guys. So.
Yeah. And someone's dropped out already?
Yes, I will not name who dropped out.
Too much like homework then?
I think they felt bad. I had asked them if they wanted to be in book club, and I feel like they're like, sure, just because they didn't want to say no to me. But
okay. Yeah. And so the book that the first book was The Silent Patient, wasn't it?
Silent Patient.
I read that too. So give us your review.
Yeah, I would give it 3.5 stars
Out
of 5.
Okay.
You can't do it on Goodreads. You can either do 3, 4, or 5. It's kind of in between a 3 and a 4 for me. So it was a page turner. It was good, but that didn't make it a good book for me. Just and I don't know. My wife Erica, she had told me there was a big twist. So this whole time I'm trying to figure out what the twist is. I feel like that kind of skewed my review of the book. It was still good. It kept me engaged, which was good. But and I usually don't read that type of genre. So yeah, it's 3.5 is still good. It's not bad. It's above average. So
I think I was asking you. It read to me like something that's going to be turned into a Netflix show or something. Or maybe it already is.
Yeah, I think I had looked up after if they were going to make it. I think Netflix is. I'm not sure exactly who, but I know it's in the works.
Okay.
So.
And what do you read now? What's the second book?
Yeah, it's called The Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wang. It is kind of based off Japanese. It's kind of Japanese like samurai and stuff. It's like a military town, and they're like the first line of defense if someone comes and like attacks them.
Okay.
And it follows kind of the mother and the son in this kind of like militaristic family where he's supposed to be like a prodigy, and kind of follows that.
So, as one of the book club leaders, do you have to finish it before everybody else, and then you're like taking attendance? Sort of, what chapter are you on? How does it work? Like, what does the book club do besides read it? Do you meet and talk about it? Like,
yeah. So after Silent Patience, it was like 300 or so pages. We just met after the book, and we waited until everyone was done. Obviously, not everyone has the same amount of free time. People have families and stuff, so we try to check in. This book's a little longer, so we're going to try to meet at the halfway point, kind of after this game. So it just kind of depends. And then last year, we would kind of vote on books and stuff, and then we'd kind of get behind, and then by the end of the year, we're not reading anything. So I just picked out our options for the year, and then we just go down the list.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you pick out the books. Mm-hmm. Do you get any grief if it's someone says this wasn't for me?
I mean, that's going to happen, and I probably will after this book because it's thicker. It's 600 and some pages. Some people aren't ready for that, or some people don't like fantasy. But we're just trying to get people out of their comfort zones, maybe read something they wouldn't read.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll take it if it's. I try to pick ones that are pretty engaging and ones that I know are solid.
I think it's kind of cool because people are. The stereotype is everybody on the plane is going to have their iPad open or in a free moment, watching a movie or something. And sometimes we're on the plane and there's lots of guys with the book open, in your free time. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, the whole kind of thing was like everybody's kind of on their phones all the time. Or like even when, Erica wasn't up here the last couple of years, so I'd go home and I wouldn't have much to do. So then it gives you something to get off your phone, not be addicted to your smartphone, and then you get to talk to your teammates about something else other than football. It's kind of getting away from football. You can talk about the story or what you thought was cool. I think that's cool. It gets you closer as a team, which was just kind of fun, just something to talk about.
One more on that then. Would you ever consider to go into the political books or newsy books or biographies? Or is it going to be fiction, science fiction, that sort of thing?
Sometimes when we did The Spy and the Traitor, and that was, sometimes it gets a little dry, especially during the season. People are feeling burnt out or like don't want to read about certain things. We try to stay away from that, and we kind of keep it, fiction.
So
just
escape.
Keep it escapism a little bit.
Yeah.
Though some people do want to read about certain people's stories, and we might throw that in, but the reception has been mostly like, I just want to, get away, read something else, or just read something that's kind of not real.
Okay, cool. We're going to get to fan questions too. But before we do, let's move on to the second part here. And this is a segment we always call Road Travel because it gives us a chance to kind of follow your journey along to how you got to Winnipeg. So, you grew up in Edina, Minnesota. It's not too far from here, right? How far is the drive?
It's about 7 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe go fast, maybe 6:45.
Yeah. Depending on how long you might have to wait at the border.
Yep.
So I was looking back a little bit, Evan, and it says, basically, I'm summarizing here. You would never boast this way, but you were a big-time star with the Edina High School Hornets, right?
Yes, we were the Hornets. Yeah, and we were 6A, so like the top one in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a big deal. And then one of the things that popped out on your North Dakota bio page was you played for a high school All-American rugby team at a tournament in France and Belgium. You mentioned rugby earlier. Is that a sport that's always been kind of near and dear to you?
Yeah, so my brother was the one who got me into rugby. I watched him play when I was in 8th grade, and I thought that looked so much fun. So I played 9th grade to 12th, and
Is that a high school sport there?
it's a club sport, so it's
Oh.
outside of
Yeah.
the founds. So we have to fundraise and stuff for that. But it's like, especially West Coast, East and West Coast, there's more rugby. Especially West Coast, that's really kind of more developed. Where like Midwest and stuff, you don't hear about rugby until high school, which is kind of why the USA has a problem, because we have football. Everybody plays football. Nobody plays rugby, so that's why we're not so great on the big stage in rugby. But yeah, I saw him play, and then I knew I wanted to do that. And then I got an opportunity to go to like high school All-American and try out at the camp, end up making the team. And then we went to Belgium and France, and we played there.
How old were you then? Was that like...
Under 17s, so I think I was 16.
That's a cool trip, man.
Yeah, it was very cool. I got to, and then with my high school club, we also traveled to Ireland. So we got to...
For football? Or
No, this was
rugby too?
for rugby, yeah. So I got to go to a lot of cool places just through rugby, experience different cultures, the
Yeah.
sport in different countries.
Yeah, that's good when you're young to get out there and see a bit of the world. That's cool. So when you went to North Dakota, did you have any other options? What made you pick North Dakota?
Yeah, so I had two options, and it was University of North Dakota and South Dakota State University. I had to go to football camps to get offers, so I had to go and compete against them, and then that's how I kind of got my offers. So my junior year, going into my senior year, I went to these camps, and then I don't know, I think I went to maybe 6 or so camps, and those were the two offers I got. I liked the school better at UND. Just if I got injured, I thought I would like this campus better than Brookings, South Dakota State. So that's kind of why I chose them. I like the staff too.
Brady was there when you got there?
Yep, I played with him through 2019.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so he would have been the first guy. You don't realize it, but the word Winnipeg probably would have come into your vocabulary for the first time when you talked to him, hey?
Yeah, I mean, I heard it a little bit, but like
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about it.
Yeah,
I was
it's
like,
kind of
oh, yeah,
wild.
they have football up there, cool. Like,
Yeah, that's kind of wild how that turns out. So after North Dakota, I was just asking you about this before we went on the air. I mean, you had a real good college career, and then you had a couple NFL rookie camp invitations. Maybe just take us through that a little bit, because that's kind of a whirlwind, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, after my career at UND, there wasn't really much going on, so I knew I had to kind of have a great pro day. So I went to the University of Minnesota's pro day and then University of North Dakota, because I needed as much exposure as I could get. So I think going to the University of Minnesota camp got me some eyes, and then they started backtracking and asking questions on me, because there wasn't really much question on me. I played well and everything, but that's not what they were looking for. So then I ran some good times and stuff, and then they started to get interested, ask questions, then back it up, do it again at University of North Dakota, and then got a few chances. So.
Yeah. It's funny how that works. Maybe to explain to the people watching about what a pro day is, because there's so much pressure, and a lot of it's about the 40 time, right? You'd like to think they've already watched you and done film, but like you said, sometimes you're at a pro day and the guy's going, okay, who's this guy again? And that's the first time he might have even seen you, right? So you got to run a good time, but what else do you do at a pro day? Yeah,
so the other big thing, especially for DBs, is doing the DB drills and catching, seeing how you're coming out of your breaks. So I felt like at the University of Minnesota, they have supposedly better DBs and stuff. So I was able to show how I was coming out of breaks and catching the ball and stuff. So, I mean, it's the short shuttle, the L drill, and the 40. I mean, if you hit the 40, you're good. They just, especially if you're a small school recruit, you need to hit all those boxes. And then if, you're undersized or something like that, they're just looking for a reason not to invite you to something or not give you a chance. So I knew I had to try to hit everything. I knew I wasn't the biggest guy. So, just thinking getting that exposure was important.
So then it was the Jets and who else?
The Colts.
Yeah. And what are those experiences like? Because you really got, to go from that to get an invite to the main camp, you've got to be spectacular, don't you?
Yeah, it was exciting for those camps and stuff, but it's like they are trying to. There's maybe 2-3 offers that they give you from an invite. So there's like maybe 2 to 3 guys that are actually going to get an offer from these rookie mini camps. So you have to play lights out. You have to be popping off the page and stuff. So the Jets, I was kind of figuring it out. I had to play nickel, and I hadn't really done that in my college career. I was just kind of out on the edge at corner. So I felt like I took the one from the Jets and was able to play better than at the Colts one. And I thought I did a really good job. They kept me for an extra day for like medicals. So I thought maybe something's going to happen. They said, oh, we'll call you in a week. And then they ended up saying, yeah, just head up to Winnipeg. And that's how I got to Winnipeg.
Yeah.
So like I thought I performed well. I did everything. Thought I was a little undersized is what they said. So I said, sure, I'll go.
So did someone from the Colts say you should try Winnipeg, or did you know that was an option already?
Yeah, so my agent at the time had been talking to the GM down at the Colts, and I talked with the GM right after the camp and everything. He said I did a good job and everything, stay for another day, and then the communication between those two was send them up to Winnipeg, and then we'll see.
Yeah. So what do you, when you come here, what are you expecting to, it's a different game, different country, all that kind of stuff. What did you know coming in?
I knew Brady.
Yeah.
I didn't know too much about the waggle and everything. I just knew I wanted to keep playing football. I knew it was an opportunity to make money playing football. And, at the time, like, I could come to Winnipeg and then go back down south kind of thing. So, and then I get to camp and there's 24 DBs and I'm like 4th on the depth chart. So I was like, well, it's go big or go home, I guess. Play well or, not. So I like kind of that pressure that's like, I got to step up and do something. Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because we talked to receivers new to the game up here and they love the waggle and then DBs, you guys must hate it.
Yeah, so the thing I don't like about Canadian football is a receiver, you get all the advantage in the world and you can run a terrible route and I cannot put hands on you to and down south you can kind of take over the route, if you will, but we have to worry about accidental PI. I have to let you run the route and then make a play on the ball. So they have all the advantage in the world, so they should be able to. But some people can't figure it out. It's not all speed, it's tempo. And Dalton was able to figure that out. It's all about timing and stuff, not athleticism. So using that to your advantage. But I don't know. It was just I liked playing half immediately when I came here. So it was just a lot of running. I liked to run. Yeah. So it worked out.
That accidental pass interference, there was one against you in Calgary, right? That kind of bogus.
Oh, yeah, it was here.
Was it here?
Edmonton.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bogus.
I don't think I'm going to win that just because my hand was here. But that's just what the refs see.
Tripped. He tripped on his own feet.
Definitely, but, I was like this. So Coach asked if should I have challenged? I was like, no, I didn't think we were going to win that one. It's just how it is. I got, I'll play cleaner next time. Try to play cleaner, but it's offensive game. So.
You can tell a guy, hey, don't trip on your feet as he's coming at you. Watch, your shoelaces undone. Like, come on, man, that's a little bit lame. Anyway, that's my rant for the day. Okay, maybe take us back to, because you, like a lot of guys, you worked your way onto the roster, then you got your first start, but maybe compare where you're at now to that. I think it was in Hamilton, your first start, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where are you at now in terms of comfortability and confidence and all that compared to that rookie start?
Yeah, a lot more comfortable just being in the defense. You just get better every year. You've seen more looks and everything. I think for the Hamilton game, I was just trying to show I could, I belong and I can play. And now, it's way more comfortable, especially having family here. Just this year to last year, just having family here, I didn't realize how how much I was missing. I guess it's way more. I'm not as stressed, anxious, or anything. Just being able to come home and have family there is really huge. I'm just more comfortable. Every year you get better at your job.
We'll get into the family part in a little bit, but I went back and I remember talking to you in the winter when you re-signed, and you were quite open about why you wanted to stay here. And there's a lot of things like your family, you're close to Minnesota, all that stuff. But you said you felt you could be yourself in this room. What does that mean to people? Because it's, everybody thinks that it's all just everybody just gets along and it's just a funny place back there. It's like, and it is, but I mean, not everybody can fit in right away. Or what makes it so comfortable for you back there?
Yeah, we have there's a lot of different personalities and stuff, especially on our defense. And it's just the room is conducive to, you can be yourself as long as, you get the job done. So it's like everybody's welcoming. Nobody's like, why are you like this or why are you like that? Everybody kind of actually gets along. It's not like you're my coworker, sweet. That's it. It's like, outside of football, you can, hang out with them and chill with them. It's not, it's not weird like that. So, as people are just accepting of, different backgrounds, different people. So it just, yeah. And then being here an extra year and stuff, like my first year, I was very quiet. I did not say anything. I was just trying to do the right things. And then you get to know some guys. And then, now I'm doing like a book club and things like that, trying to do things with the team, which I don't think I ever did that in college. So it's like, you're able to grow and, change as a person.
Yeah. So is that because of the room or just you becoming more mature and older and, that sort of thing, or a bit of both?
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of both. Yeah. But then, you see other guys like I remember Adam Big Hill. He just had so much energy for everything. He had a family, but he's still down to play like board games. He's still down to watch film, do all this stuff. And he has, he's able to do it. And then, you're able to kind of just, I don't know, play hard for each other. So you want to like get to know someone and, you play harder because you know someone. So It's just kind of like, it's a little bit of both.
I don't think people understand how much fit matters in football, and not just on scheme but just in the room, right?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like OSH doesn't really, if you're not a fit, it's FIFO, so you have to fit in and or you learn to fit in and learn kind of how things are run.
Yeah. You would have had options as a free agent. You never got to free agency, but is it all this stuff that made you want to stay? Because a lot of guys will say, oh, they're offering 10 grand more, I'm going there.
Yeah, I mean, they have to think about, rent cost in another city. Then I have to think about, I knew my family was coming up because we had just had our baby. So I'm thinking, you've got a 2-3 month year old. Do I really want to go somewhere else? And how stressful that situation, moving's already going to be stressful.
Mm-hmm.
How do I want to do that? And then it's going to be stressful. I'm going to have to learn new stuff, new things, which isn't necessarily bad, but I just knew I like the staff. I like JY. I like OSH. I like the defense we run here because it allows me to do a lot of fun things. So
yeah, there's always a fear of the unknown sometimes too, right? You got a good thing. Why would you necessarily want to leave it and go somewhere else? Okay, Josh, I'll let you jump in here now with the next segment, right? Because we are going to give away a jersey.
Yeah, so we're going to do a jersey giveaway, which is brought to you by Drawn Equipment. We got a new commercial for them coming real soon. We're finishing shooting this week. We had a great shoot with them last week. So that'll be hopefully on the show next week, but if not next week, probably the week after that. But yeah, we're going to be giving away an Evan Holm jersey. So there'll be instructions for that in the chat momentarily. You have to be able to come pick it up at the Bomber store. We can't ship it, unfortunately. You got to be able to come pick it up. But you'll have to enter with your email for an entry at the link in the chat. And then another bonus entry if you subscribe to the YouTube channel. So we got lots of great content going on the YouTube. We have the Huddle every Tuesday at 3 o'clock, every Tuesday that we can. We were off for a couple of weeks because of the bye and some availability stuff. And then we also have the podcast handled internally, also going up on the YouTube channel pretty close to once a week, almost once a week, sometimes once every 2 weeks. But that's a regular thing with Zach Coleros, Ed Tait, and Darren Cameron. So yeah, check out the YouTube channel. Email in the chat to enter the jersey giveaway for the Evan Holm jersey. And yeah, you got to be able to come pick it up at the Bomber store, and we will reach out to you via email if you win that jersey. So while those are rolling in, we're going to take a couple of questions before we move on, and then make sure we get to all the questions by the end of the show. But we had people chime in as well at the film star question. So we got Tom Holland.
Oh, Tom.
Oh, that's a great one.
That is a great one.
I have been called Spider-Man or Clark.
That's the best one. Actually.
I think that's the best one too.
Actually, it makes the Jason Statham thing kind of. Yeah, you're right. Okay, I had to throw it out there. There's something there. I'm sorry. We should do a compare.
I don't know
put your
about
picture
that.
up and then put Tom Holland, Michael Cera, right, and Jason Statham, and let the fans pick.
And then I don't know this one,
okay.
but Zach Guilford from Friday Night Lights. That doesn't mean anything to me.
Zach Guilford.
I can't remember.
Yeah. Okay.
The
all right.
TV show or the movie? I wonder.
They didn't specify.
Yeah. I was a big fan of both the movie and the TV show. Okay, I have to. Zach Guilford.
Yeah.
He might have been the quarterback. Is that the one that played Matt Saracen? Somebody look it up.
Anyways,
Hello?
when you were in college, did you ever make a road trip to Winnipeg due to the lower drinking age?
No, I did not make a trip to Winnipeg. I just heard Brady talk about Winnipeg, and I was like, why would I go up there? I know there's like concerts and stuff. I'm like, why would I do that? I don't know. Kind
And
of.
now
Yeah.
you have a pretty good reason.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Edina is what? Is that part of Minneapolis or no?
It's like it's a suburb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lived in Wayzata for
Okay. Yeah.
a couple
we
years
played
when I was a.
we
this
played there in our conference. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wayzata. Okay. There we go.
Do you miss Terrell Ford?
Yeah, I do. He was fun to play with. He's a good guy. So
Is that Terrell asking that?
It was not.
Okay.
yeah, I miss him for sure. He was actually at the Jets camp. That's how I met Tyrell. We were at the Jets camp.
Is that right?
We roomed together, and then that's when I started to talk about the CFL. He's like, "Oh yeah, if this doesn't work out, I'm gonna go to the CFL." And then I ended up coming to Winnipeg, and that was kind of a cool
That's
story
wild.
too. Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
And he
that's a good
played
question.
great at the Jets camp, I thought, and I was like, well, if anyone's gonna make it, it's him. And then I was thinking, oh, then it'd be me. But I think he played really great, and I'm like, oh, he's probably gonna get offer. So
It just shows how hard it is to make out of the rookie camp. Okay.
There's any number of reasons too. It's not just how you play.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
A whole
I
bunch
feel
of
like
things.
yeah,
Especially if they've drafted 5 DBs.
yeah, they might not even be looking for
Yeah.
a DB, and
Yeah.
the receiver, they signed like a receiver after that, and he didn't really
Yeah.
do that great. But sometimes they just have your eye on him. They need a spot in the roster. So
Yeah. It does seem sometimes, because I've talked to so many guys about that the rookie camps are NFL teams making sure they don't miss somebody, right? There might be a diamond in the rough out there, and it's just they're covering their bases in a lot of way. If someone pops out, they can bring him in, and they look like a genius.
yeah, and I didn't realize how much FBS to FCS mattered for coaches
Oh,
and
yeah?
things, and level of competition you've played at. So they might bring in a guy from Wisconsin or something, just because he went to Wisconsin. They know that he's played against Big Ten guys, and he might not even perform that great at the camp, but that's who they're looking at. He has the body type and everything
Right.
like that. So
Okay.
We'll go one more question again before we get to it. Remember, the giveaway is going on right now. The jersey giveaway. It's pinned in chat. Go to that link. Sign up with your email. Extra entry if you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Win an Evan Holm jersey. You got to be able to come pick it up at the store, and we'll reach out to the winner. So hit that up. We got more questions to come. We got another segment to do before we're moving on. And then one more question before we move on is, what kind of skills translate from rugby to football?
definitely tackling. I don't like to tackle where it's just your shoulder. I do not like when people do that. I like to wrap up. Sometimes, we teach, you want to put your head across, but in rugby you can't do that or you'll get knocked out. So I always, it's hard for me sometimes. Osho coach me up, like, get your head across, but like, it's so natural for me to, so like wrapping up, sometimes I like tackle differently than other people, but that definitely translates well. I can't play offense, but I was pretty good at running in rugby without pads. Like, I feel like I'm a better runner without pads and without blockers. So like being able to run without blockers, I can just go, rather than football for me sometimes is waiting for that block. I wasn't as good at that. So
I would say, wouldn't you say one of your best strengths is your tackling ability? You don't miss many tackles, man.
yeah, that's I do take pride in tackling, and when I miss tackle, it's
not a good thing.
Yeah, I like one of my favorite things is just me and someone else in the open field trying to make that tackle, because it's a hard tackle, and that that doesn't feel like there's pressure on you to miss. For me, it just feels like this normal.
Now that you mention it, that's a good question, because I don't think I've ever seen you lead with just your head or your shoulders. So many guys do that. You're wrapping up and like hog tying a guy and bringing him down.
I have a few times, and I think one time I really tried to like hit him with my shoulder, like it hurt so bad. Like I got a stinger, and I was like, like it was. So I try to just be me, and that's kind of go back to like the room kind of thing. Like, they're not going to tell me, hey, be someone you're not. Like, I show them I can do the job while,
Okay.
tackling how I like to.
Right on. Well, let's move on to the next section here. You've touched on it a little bit, and I know it's really important to you about signing here and the family and having Erica and your daughter Nora. She's born in March, right?
Yep.
So I'm not very good at math. How many months old is that?
4 and a few days now. So
And everything's good on the home front with the baby and everything.
yes, she has having a little sleep regression and stuff. So I need to start helping out a little more. But like Erica's been doing great. And being able to help me, especially during camp and everything, like I'm not there at all, and she's just with Nora the entire time, and so that's been really tough, just not be able to be more available and help out. And she always wants to try to do it all herself, so just like trying to find time to help out more.
Yeah. So when you say she's waking up a lot, the baby.
Yeah, she's having so she first, like, I don't know, 10 weeks or so, she was sleeping pretty good for a newborn and everything. And then after that, she's been sleeping less and less, just waking up more, more active, she's more vocal and stuff. So yeah.
I remember the first time I heard the expression "sleeps like a baby," and after I had kids, it was like, you mean you wake up every 2 hours crying? Because that's what it was like. That's not the best sound of sleep.
No, yeah. I mean, but when they are asleep, like when they get really knocked out, and you're just like, oh, okay.
Wait till she's a teenager, because when my boy started to sleep 10, 12 hours, it was like, this is glorious. Just let him go. I don't care how long they sleep, because I don't have to deal with this. Okay, so when you become, I know, again, you've touched on it. It's a big deal to have that base for you to come home, from a practice every day, to have that. Has being a dad changed your perspective on anything?
I don't know if it's necessarily changed my perspective on anything. Just more like, I don't know. I kind of knew what I was, signing up for, kind of thing. Just more like a lot of other things don't matter. Like when you need to be available, you have to be available, and sometimes that can be frustrating because you want to do something else,
right?
But you have to kind of be selfish. Not, just sometimes you're gonna be like, oh, I want to do this, but my family has needs, so it's just like. Just battling that every once in a while, like you got to be available. Yeah.
It kind of teaches a little bit about what really is important, and right? When you start and you're thinking you're having a crappy day, or you missed a tackle, or someone got by you in practice, and then you go home and it's, okay, this is what really matters, right?
Yeah, exactly. And she's smiling at you and everything, and you're like, it's really is just a job at the end of the day. And, we take pride in doing our job well, but like take care of your family first. Yeah.
And does it start to the clock for you about thinking about life after football, or were you already thinking about that before you had a family?
Yeah, we kind of, like, even back to when we got married, we kind of started doing like a 5-year plan, 10-year plan, and so on. Like, what do we want with our life and everything? So we knew we wanted a family, and I knew Erica wanted to, take care of the kids for a bit before they go to, preschool or, grade school. So try to do that. So it was try to, I guess you'd call it a job promotion here or something. You just try to do better in your job, so then we can make that a possibility. And then thinking like football could end at any moment, so we have to have plans for that. We knew we want hopefully more kids. And then, after football, once kids are in school, Erica maybe work a little bit, and I'm still deciding on what I'm going to do. I just don't know which school I'm going to go to.
What are the options? What are you thinking?
So I was thinking chiropractic school, then there's PT school, and then there's osteo up here in Canada. I was potentially thinking, basically I want to help, it doesn't necessarily have to be athletes, but people with chronic pain, or help people move better, or, be able to, because there's a lot of individuals in chronic pain, but they're not necessarily debilitating. And back home who I train with, in Edina, there's a clinic, and I've trained with him for a while, and he kind of does that. So I've kind of, when I go back home, I kind of study under him a little bit and learn from him. And that's patients who he deals with, and I see the change that he's able to make. So I want to do that. And there's different degrees you can get to be able to do that. I could even just be a trainer and be able to do that, but then you're not able to like do treatment on people because, for legal reasons and stuff. So I haven't specifically decided, but something like that, and maybe a little coaching. But yeah.
What do your folks do?
My dad's salesman. He has sold anything from like art albums and stuff to commercial real estate, and now he is selling software or like a program for. Let's see. I helped him out a little bit for this, so I should know. But he's a salesman. He's really good with people. Very personable. He is kind of my opposite. He's very chatty and social, or sometimes I feel like to be like more like my mom, like to be reserved. He's out there making connections.
He's a networking guy.
He is a networking guy. And then my mom, she runs the Medi Spa at Lifetime Fitness. And she was like, first she was just working like, the desk, and then she worked her way up, and now she's managing people and everything, which I think was really cool.
You said you might, coaching is in your future. What makes you like to teach then, or what's the draw to that?
Yeah, I mean, I always remember having good coaches and finding, the people who fall through the cracks or maybe not get noticed. I think I might want to coach rugby. I just think it'd be really fun. Maybe football. I don't know if I'd ever do anything like collegiately. It's just you're not be able to be available to your family, I think, at the collegiate level, especially now with all this NIL stuff, recruiting. So maybe just for fun, basically, not as a main job, I don't think.
I got to come back to the Jason Statham thing here for a little bit. Sorry. Look at everybody's groaning here. Here, I got to ask you. So, how many times do you have someone say to you, Evan, you don't look like a football player?
Like all the time. Anytime. I don't know. Anytime new rookies and stuff come in and stuff. Yeah. And like, okay, even when I was here, 2022, Brandon Alexander, I remember this. He basically told me, he's like, I didn't think you could play football. Like he's like, just straight up. I was like, oh. But like I understand that. I had glasses at the time too. I had gotten LASIK a couple years ago. But yeah, I had glasses, curly hair. I don't really like dress for swagger or anything. Like I don't know. Yeah. I'm quiet on top of it too. So then like I just don't. I feel like Deion Sanders made the position like defensive back like it's supposed to be like a show, a performance. I am the complete opposite. Why do I have to pretend to be something? Mm-hmm. Like I don't. Resonate with that. I'd rather just like, sometimes I wish there wasn't any cameras and stuff, but yeah.
So then do you have to, we see in the movies all the time about guys getting ready for the game and they're slamming into lockers. Do you have to take on a different persona when the ball's put on the tee and it's game time, or how do you, because you are quiet and reserved, but you got to be kind of an assassin out there a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, but you can be quiet and still do like it's just focus, quiet focus. I guess silent assassin.
Okay, I'm trying here, man.
Jason Statham.
He's trying to get you a T-shirt deal or something. Yeah, with some slogans.
The silent assassin.
I don't know. You just that goes back to being yourself and stuff. I don't have to step outside. Like I do now celebrate with my teammates, and I don't think I ever really did that. I just don't like doing that, but now it's for my teammates. It's not going to be like celebrate for me. It's going to be with the team because that's fun and stuff. So,
well, when you had the pick in BC a couple weeks ago, right? Everybody wanted to celebrate with you.
Yeah, I was kind of just jogging back to. I didn't celebrate as much. I just wanted to get back to the bench and.
So you'll never be the guy that's doing the.
No, that would be if I'm doing that, something's wrong. So. I like to celebrate with my teammates mostly. Have cool handshakes and stuff, but like I don't know, it's not about me. So
I was watching that practice the other day because I thought we were gonna we had arranged to have you on as a guest, and it was yesterday or the day before. After the stretch and the warm up period, you guys have like a handshake for every guy. It's like who choreographs that? Like it's a little thing with each guy. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I think it was JY who said like when I first got here, I didn't have handshakes with anyone, and then I think BA was a big part of like let's get a handshake, and then you just said me and you we had an idea for a handshake like something that's personal to us or that only we would get, and then we kind of go from there. So you kind of make one with someone. So like some of the receivers, it takes a little while because we don't see him as much, but like we're going through the lines. Like I just had one with Stearns, and we came up with something that was. Kind of only us would get. So, you kind of slowly make them.
Okay, well, what would you only get? I don't get it. What?
Like maybe have an inside joke or
Okay.
maybe something pertaining to football or just something that you laugh at or make you smile, like something like that. So it's like,
Is this supposed to be, because I was thinking all these content guys in the room with us here, we should be taping this, right? We should videotape this and you saying we do. Let's see a whole segment on it though. Okay. All right.
a segment to explain your handshakes.
No, well, yeah, we could do that too.
Yeah.
Those
Unless
are
it's
secret.
really
Those are top
secret.
secret.
Yeah. But I think it's kind of cool. Okay, let's get to some more fan questions because we've kept you for quite a while here. Evan.
Yeah, he's
I
almost got to
appreciate
get out of
that.
here. So let me
Yeah.
just scroll through here. First one that popped out is, do your parents come to any Bomber games?
Yes. So first, when I was first up, my dad, like my first start, I think I was doing like or special teams. So I was first time up on the roster. My dad would come. My dad tries to make it to every game, but yeah, my mom and dad, since the proximity is so close, they try to make it to every game
That's
they can.
cool.
Which is another reason, like being here, just having them at the games is so cool. Just to be around and support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's wicked. Next one is, who's the best wide receiver you've ever lined up against? Not a current teammate.
Kenny Lawler's pretty great. We didn't match up that much, just position wise, but the times I was able to, or if I was playing a different position, he was pretty spectacular. He ran a mean post corner on me one time that I still remember. So, and his catch radius, being able to catch the ball. I mean, you see him doing it at Hamilton. He's just exceptional.
Every game he's doing
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
What's it like when a former teammate signs with a new opponent? What's that like?
It feels a little weird. I don't know, just especially here, you build relationships with people, but then you also feel good for them if, it's something they've earned and maybe our team's not willing to pay for that. The thing with Tyrell Ford is like, we were good buddies and everything. We got along and we played well together. But then you feel good for him because, he's earned that. He played really well. It's kind of weird. It's weird in pro football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you have talked to Terrell before the game here in Winnipeg a couple weeks ago?
I talked to him a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, we got a picture after the game and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
I texted
right on.
him a bit. But yeah.
Right on.
It's another rugby translation question. Is there any sort of plays from rugby that could come over to football? I don't know if that makes sense, but is there anything you could borrow from a technical standpoint from rugby in like more of the or maybe tactical, maybe in a tactical way?
Yeah, sometimes, especially in like kick out situations when we're, kicking the ball out or in punt, if you're staying on side, you have to stay behind the person who's kicking the ball. That's the same in rugby. Being able to kick the ball on the run. So sometimes I would love to try just, because in rugby it's natural for you to like kick the ball and then go get it. But in football, it's a little bit more risky to do, and I don't think that would be well received by Osh.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do it, and it's high risk.
Yeah.
It's not that great of a reward. But there's situations it could happen, and then things like staying on sides behind someone who's kicking, kick out.
You got me thinking here. It would be kind of cool. I don't know if you've had a chat with anybody on the coaching staff about this, but if we're down by a touchdown and late in the game and it's your last play of the game and you see the crazy, teams lateral it to keep the play alive, I mean, that's rugby written all over it.
Yeah, for sure.
You should
That
get on
too.
the field for that.
Well, you've seen a couple times. My first interception, I tried to lateral the ball. I didn't try. I lateraled the ball to Jamal, just to run out the time, and then he lateraled it back to me. And Osh said, never do that again. And then the West Final 2023, it was one of the last plays, and VA was gonna tackle me, and then I was about to go pitch it, and then I'm looking to pitch it just because that feels natural to me, but it's not like other people aren't looking for that. Like in rugby, you'd run onto it and you'd say, I'm on your right, I'm on your left, and you'd keep running past him and I'd pitch it to you. But football players, it's thinking I'm going to block someone or I'm going to block for him.
Yeah.
Where I'm thinking nobody's looking to pitch, but I'm looking to catch it, or
Right.
I'm looking to pitch.
So would the 2023 West Final, were you hearing Osh's voice in your head then?
I was, yeah. And I swear I heard someone say go down or something, but also I could have totally scored, but then I don't know. I wish I would have I could have also just tried to break the tackle and go in the end zone, but Yeah, so
I think the rugby, the last play of the game, if we're down, they should be coming over to you, Evan, and saying, draw us up something. Let's go.
yeah, I mean, there's teams wouldn't be expecting it, but also like, yeah, I mean, it has to be clean. And it's not something we're going to take time to practice, because
Yeah,
it's
that's
very
true.
situational.
Okay. Just me dreaming.
Next
That'd be
question
cool,
is there any trips that you're planning or hoping to take that you've thought about because of a book that you've read? Is any sort of
that's a good
traveling
question.
inspiration that has come from any books you've read?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I'm planning a trip to Japan right now, so I guess that we are reading Sword of Kaigen. It's based off kind of like traditional Japanese samurai and stuff. I have been to Japan though before, but I liked it so much I wanted to go back. So yeah, definitely Japan, New Zealand, but that hasn't been because of a book I've read. I read a lot of fantasy, so that's like doesn't really
Not the real world.
translate. So I guess like New Zealand, they got where they filmed like the Lord of the Rings and stuff, and I really do like nature and mountains, especially when we travel. So something like that. But
Cool.
yeah.
Right on.
I got just a couple more here, and then we'll get you out of here. But who's the fastest player on the team?
Me.
Okay. No hesitation.
Yeah, and then probably Cody Case is up there for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
what would your 40 time be, you know?
My pro day was 4:41, but I think I'm faster now. But
Really, eh? Good for you, man.
and also like speaking on the 40, it's like you have to train for the start, you have to train for all that. But some people who run fast times aren't fast on the field. When do you start like that in a game? Never. So I feel like my acceleration from like 20 to 40 is very good,
Okay.
kind of
Yeah,
thing.
that makes
but,
sense.
But yeah.
All right.
Interesting. How does your communication change when you're lined up in man on defense with the other guys on the defense?
Yeah, so usually at the half position, you're communicating to the guy on your right and the guy on your left. So depending on splits and stuff, you could be working with either one of those guys if you're going to switch something or not. So it's something we do every day in practice. Are we going to switch it or are we going to stay on it, basically, if it's man? So you just have those conversations with guy on your right, guy on your left. Usually it's my corner if we're going to do something like that. But we kind of play a version of man the whole time in our defense. So
That's a good question. It must have come from a DB or a coach. Yeah.
Yeah, right. That is a great question. That looks like that's pretty much it. So I'll just, before I throw it back to Ed, just say that jersey giveaway link is still in the chat on both X and YouTube. So hit that up, drop your email, enter for a chance to win. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Don't forget about Handled Internally on YouTube as well. Subscribe. But Ed's going to say all that too, but I just want to get my plug in.
No, you're right. Let's thanks to everybody for joining us this Tuesday. Next Tuesday at 3 p.m. We don't know the guest yet, but it's going to be, we're on an 11-week run here with games, no more buys till October. So hopefully we can do 11 shows in a row here. Thanks to Evan for joining us. Special thanks to Coors Light and Duran Equipment, our sponsors. Thanks to Josh and Smart and Cam and Sam, the guys in the room here, for making this work. We greatly appreciate all you fans for tuning in regularly. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and join us again next Tuesday at 3 p.m.